and hit record. And I'm going to mute everyone out, and everyone can just unmute themselves if you have a comment or a question. So welcome everyone to session 1 of our boot camp class. And this can be whatever you want it to be. This can grow your mindset. This can grow your business. This can grow your body. This is going to be for you whatever you want it to be. I recommend getting a pen, getting a paper. If you're driving, ask your partner to take notes for you and help you out. The call is going to be recorded, so you will be able to rewatch it. Zoom is a live video, so please be careful if you have your children running around naked or things are happening in the background. Just forewarning, because this is going to be uploaded on YouTube. So let's get into action. Let's start. So wanting to change and deciding to change is two different things. And I commend all of you for being here, because, you know, wanting to do something and making the decision to do something is really different. I know people that their whole entire lives they complain. Do any of you guys have a mom or a dad that complains about wanting to make a change, and you're like, holy shit, why don't you just do it already? And I curse a lot. I hope that you have no children in the background and that I don't offend anyone. If Tony Robbins can do it, why the heck can't I? Anyway, so, you know, a lot of us have come to Isagenix not because life was pretty. A lot of us have come to Isagenix because things were tough. We weren't feeling great. We weren't looking great. And we were really seeking some kind of change. And not only did we want to change, but we really made the decision, and we picked up that phone and we called that annoying person that's been posting on Facebook time and time again. And you're like, oh, I resign. Right? I just tell me what you want me to do. Here's my credit card. And wanting to change and making the decision to change is really believing in the things that you can't see. And for most of us, it's a leap of faith. And you really have to question whether you do have that faith. It's a lot of letting go of old beliefs. And kind of feeling like this is it. You have your back against the wall and your life depends on it. For you, for your family, you know, you've got to make that change. It can be physical, spiritual, financial. And I want to give you guys an example of deciding to make that change. A few weeks, you know, my mom and I have had a very volatile relationship. Lord, for 30 plus years, my mom and I have had a volatile relationship. I'm a strong person. She's not. I'm very aggressive. She's very passive. At times when I felt that I needed her the most, I felt really let down. And I've carried these feelings with me since I'm a kid. I was raised by a stepfather who was physically aggressive, abusive. You know, I had a very tough upbringing. Turned to drugs, hung out with, you know, bad friends. I really had a much tougher life than I would ever want for my kids. And so my whole life I grew up resentful of this woman who was supposed to protect me. And then my husband, a few weeks ago, said to me, "Did you hear your mother's voice on the phone?" And I said, "No." He goes, "She really sounds like she got old." And at that moment, for an instant, I pictured what it would be like not to have her here anymore. And at that very moment, in a flash, I just let everything go. All the turmoil, all the animosity, all the resentment, I really just let it go. Because if you want to live a life that you've never had, if you want to have the relationships, if you want to have the body, if you want to have the income, you have to do things that you've never done. And letting go, sometimes it's just that, it's that decision, and you wonder why you're stuck in this bubble. Why do I keep dating men who are just total buttholes? Why do I keep getting myself in a financial bind? I'm constantly in credit card debt. You have to think of your behaviors and why you're always in this mess. A lot of us have turned to food for comfort when you're going through certain situations in your life. And for me, food was a way that I can guard myself. I can protect myself. I'm going to eat that cheeseburger and I'm going to carry around this roll of fat so nobody ever gets close to me. This is going to protect me. So we have to let go of these old beliefs, and we have to let go of these feelings. And I really share with you guys that there is a kick-ass life waiting on the other side, and we have to step up and we have to kick ass if we're going to influence and inspire others around us to change, right? And for me, sometimes it's a pivotal moment. It's being open. It's listening to something that someone says. When my husband said that, "Whoa, your mom sounds like she's really getting old," I just thought in my mind how long I've carried these foolish beliefs and how much time are we losing staying stuck. A lot of us have these things with being broke. We keep making the same mistakes. We hold ourselves back. We don't go all in. And what I share with you is that these belief systems that we have, they're things that come up subconsciously. We're not even aware of them. For me, my parents were never home. I was raised by my grandmother. My mom and my dad worked 60 plus hours a week as Russian immigrants. And so in a way, I wanted to get out of that. But in a way, I found myself staying stuck with poor influencers, with poor jobs. I just kept myself at a lower level than what I deserved, because at some level of belief, I thought that if I surpassed, that maybe my kids would feel resentful towards me. You have to start becoming aware of your thought process, your parents' beliefs around money, around health, whatever you feel stuck around, whether it's relationships, whether it's finances, whether it's your health, whatever that issue is for you. And you all know where you're stuck. Do you all know where you're stuck? Do you have that one thing that comes up for you each and every time and you're like, God, why do I keep doing this? Write 5 things around that topic. So for me, if it's money, what are some things that come up around money? How did my parents feel around money? What do my friends think about money? How important is it to break free? Are my friends money conscious, or are they all broke? Broke is a joke. So becoming aware of these thoughts and really, catching yourself thinking about these negative feelings is going to be really important, because we attract people at a higher frequency. And what I share with you guys is this: when you are coming at people from a high energy, from excitement, from fun, from a place where action and high energy is working together, people are going to be attracted to you. I hit executive in 60 days when I first started. I hit 6 figures in less than 9 months when I first started with Isagenix. And it had nothing to do with experience or skill set or knowledge. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have an upline. It was my energy. I was excited. People felt that from me. But my excitement plus the action put together was really what got me into momentum. A lot of us are so held back by these old beliefs. I'm not good enough. I can't really talk to him. I don't feel comfortable in my skin. we hold ourselves back so much from going all out and really living that kick-ass life. And so you have to have a discovery process and determine what the hell is holding you back. Why do you keep going through it and making those same mistakes? If there's something that you wanted to do for 5 years, you wanted to join a bowling league, you wanted to get out there and finally start dating, why not? Why not do the things that you deserve? Why not live the best life that you possibly can? You know, a lot of times it's going to take great leaps of faith, and a lot of it can be seen. You've got to keep talking to yourself. I've got this. I can do this. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get into action. I'm going to eat a healthy meal. I'm going to work out today. You have got to be your best advocate, and it's going to take blind faith. You can't see the results. I can promise you that if you keep going, you're going to be successful, but you've got to believe that. It's got to come from you. And so when you start taking these leaps of faith, what I can tell you is that the entire universe is going to plot against you. That's what it feels like. It feels like shit is going to hit the fan. The minute I said I was going to do this call, that's it. I got a headache. One of my kids her ear hurts. Like, whenever you make a decision, you're going to be tested. You're going to be challenged. That's the way it works. Right? And then you're going to be dealing with people who think you're absolutely insane. I mean, how many of you guys have come across people who have hurt your feelings, have sneered at you, have teased you, have criticized you? Anyone experience that? Holy cow, more times than I can count. And what I'm learning now is that everyone is coming from a place of fear or love. That's it. There's only two feelings you're coming from. You're either coming from fear or love. So, you know, when somebody says, oh, Isagenix is BS, it doesn't work, either I'm going to come from a place of fear and I'm going to say, well, you don't know anything about this program, because I'm like so hurt and angry. But I'm making the decision to come from a place of love, honestly, each and every time, and say, you know what? It's a shame that you just don't know what you don't know. But if you gave it a chance, you would see what I see. It really, and the people that are sneering at you, laughing at you, some of them could be coming from a place of fear. Fear that they are stuck sitting behind a desk at some crappy job with some crappy boss making a crappy salary, and there you are challenging the status quo, being the brave one, going against the norm. You know, you might be challenging their fears, and that's all it is. Or maybe they're coming from a place of love, and they're like, what, are you crazy? You're going to quit your job, stay home with 3 boys? Are you to do this thing, this work from home business? This isn't going to work. They're coming out of a place of either fear or love. You have to remember that. You cannot get upset with people, but you know what? Their fear should absolutely not stop you or block you or prevent you from living an incredible, incredible life. And what I've done on my journey is really choose a circle of influence that's going to support me, that's going to inspire me, that's going to bring out the best in me. No matter how stupid my idea is, Ed says, you know what, we'll give it a try. Those are the types of people that I want to hang out with. When I say, girls, I know this is crazy, you got to leave your 5 kids, but we're going on a plane to Nashville from, you know, listen, it takes a strong leap of faith, but you want to hang out with the people that are just as insane as you, that say, you know what, maybe this is going to work. You know what? And you have 2 choices. Maybe this is going to work or maybe it ain't. But are you going to live your life being afraid and not wanting to try and not wanting to give it your best effort? I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do everything I can to live the best life possible. And it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with the fact that I can go kayaking on a Tuesday at 11 a.m. because I feel like it. You know, what does a better life mean to you? Who are the people around you that you're impacting? Guys, changing your posture, changing your thought process, changing your language, it is work, man. It is like a brain detox, right? We're detoxing our body, but you know, we always laugh because we've had people on the team that have lost 50 pounds and they're just still as negative and as ugly as they were before. And you're like, dude, you worked on your body. Now you've got to work in here. You've got to work on your inside, right? You can't just lose the weight and have a great body, but continue to have that fat head and that stinking thinking. You've got to really pour into the self-development. You've got to really shift your belief system. And it is taking a big step forward. It really is investing in yourself. It's you know, understanding that there's going to be a lot of shit before it gets good. It's trusting the process, trusting your coaches, listening to what the successful people are telling you from love, from care, what they're sharing with you to do. And it's really having faith and staying the course long before you see it, because trust me, if you can cycle once and you continue to stay in action, you can cycle 10 times, you can cycle 20 times, you can cycle 100 times. And for me, the greatest thing, there is nothing cooler than looking at Time Hop and seeing the person that you've become. That's the greatest transformation that you will experience, because your children will see it and feel it. Your husband will see it and feel it. I can honestly say that I've made my mom so proud. My family looks at me and they're like, Ange, you've changed so much. I mean, I hated on everybody. And they see it in me, and I've made them proud. But more important, I get to be an example for my girls. And they see me on the calls, and they see me taking pages of notes and reading books tirelessly to pour into other people. So I ask you guys today to really leave your old thoughts behind, to dig deep, to get uncomfortable, and just prepare yourself for growth. Because if you're ready to learn and if you're ready to receive, you're going to experience so much more abundance in your life. And again, it's not the money, it's the person who you become in the process, and it's the lives that you're going to impact. So are you guys ready for some action, some training? Okay. That means yes. Okay. Number one, start telling your financial story. You have to be proud of that. People are watching you. Your tribe is not my tribe. Your people are not going to resonate with me or your coach. Your people look to you. And you've got to start celebrating every single accomplishment. You've got to start talking about the financial aspect. If you have cycled once, you have a lot to be proud of. If you have helped one person improve their health, you have a lot to be proud of. We've got to start sharing the financial story. In a group of 10,000 people in our cleanse group, nobody's talking about the money. And when I got paid on Monday, I fell off my chair. When Ashley shared with me what she made, I mean, my heart like sank. I was so happy for her. You know, this is a big deal that a mom of 5 who's 2 months into the business made $650, almost what her husband made, sitting from home, helping the people that she loves and cares about get healthy. Her sister, her husband, $650. Do you know the amount of hours she would have had to spend on a babysitter to go get a job to be able to work for $12 an hour to make that kind of money? She did it from home in 1 week while never taking her eyes off her kids. If that's not a miracle that we have to keep sharing with people, that you have to own it. I know our belief system holds us back and says, don't talk about the money, it's faux pas, people are going to judge you. Oh, hell no, that is how you're going to inspire people. If you don't tell people the story, how in God's name will they know? Robin had $1,000 check, a leadership check. What, hello, I have people that work for Mayor Bloomberg and they don't get $1,000 bonus. Are you kidding me? That we've got to get comfortable with sharing the financial story. And I want to put things into perspective for you guys. If you enroll 12 value packs a month, that's $3,400 a month. That's 3 value packs a week is a full-time income. Is it not worth it to you to talk to 30 people a week to get 3 value? $3,400 a month is 12 value packs. But what happens with those 12? 6 will fall off. They'll go into the witness protection program. The other 6 will appear to do something. You'll have 1 who's going to kick ass, and you're going to have customers. And those 12 packs will bring you residual income. It's not a one-time thing. You're getting volume. And you think maybe when those 12 people have results, somebody may see them and say, gosh, Joan, you look fantastic. What happened to you? You think those 12 might sprout a few new buds? Guys, this is residual income. This is a miracle that I'm grateful for every single day. You are not working for Pibbs. You're not at Walmart, doing checkout. 30-day pack, next, 30-day pack, next. You've got to love the hell out of your people, pour belief into them, root for them, be their biggest cheerleader, and grow a network. Because from one, you help that one person. Listen, Eric Worre said that if you can help one person cycle just one time a week, they're going to stay with you for a year. Do you know what that looks like to have a customer for a year? That's huge. Look at all that volume. And our volume never goes away. It never flushes away. So I'm going to give you guys some assignments. We're going to have 6 calls together. We're going to talk about mindset, action steps, daily method of operation. Whether you do it or not, or how much you put into this, is really going to be up to you. It's not going to be overwhelming, but to grow your business, you have to be plugged in. I don't miss a team call. I don't miss the podcast. I don't miss the events, because there's a lot more negativity on the outside, a lot of distractions on the outside. It's very easy being your own boss, isn't it? You work when you feel like it. You set your own hours. You do it in between lunch breaks. But it's also the hardest thing in the world, because you've got to be your own boss. And you've got to be responsible. And you've got to say, you know what, Ed Golden, today I'm not going to Target. I'm going to sit at my desk and I'm going to put in those hours. Right? Being your own boss is not easy, because you've got to be responsible. Whether you do it or not is up to you. It's easy to do it, but it's also easy not to do it. So I want to encourage you guys to find an accountability partner. It doesn't have to be your coach. It can be a friend. It can be a running mate. Find an accountability partner who sees what you see, who wants this as bad as you. Don't go down. Don't find someone who you have to, light up every day. Find someone who's already lit up. I want to tell you, my friend, having a positive circle of influence is so important. Even the friends that I keep on Facebook, I have deleted or unfollowed so many negative people because I only want a positive sphere of influence. And my friend Jen Murgatroyd posted her beautiful daughter Olivia, and her husband Mike and her son Wyatt. They were all climbing up this amazing trail in Montana. And she said, I'm so proud of our family, 8.7 miles, getting healthy as a family. And the next day I Googled hiking trails and I took my daughter Isabella on a hike. We did almost over 5 miles together. But Jen Murgatroyd inspired me, right? If you hang out with shitbags, they're going to inspire you to do shitty things. If you hang out with go-getters, goal crushers, people who have a heart of service, who are out there every day getting their hustle on, getting their grind on, you know what that's going to inspire you to do? Step up your game and get better, right? Jen inspired me and she doesn't even know it. But that's the sphere of influence that I want to keep. So when you're finding accountability partners, you don't have to choose someone who you've enrolled, who you feel responsible for. You choose based on energy level, not stars or cycles, right? Somebody's energy matches yours. You lock arms and you say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Every Monday, I'm going to check in with you. I'm going to tell you my goals for the week, and we're going to crush it. I mean, some of the girls and I have this group chat on Marco Polo. Every day they're checking in, every day holding themselves accountable. And it's huge. They don't do it for me. They're doing it for themselves. So commit to really training your mind and learning the skill set. And I want to share with you guys this. My biggest pet peeve is people who tell me that they don't have the time. My friend Carolyn Tweetmeyer has 15 kids, two of which, Isaac and Sophia, have Down syndrome. She's adopted kids from all over. It's her passion to help kids who are underprivileged, who need medical care. She is really an incredible woman. She hit millionaire with Isagenix in 3 years, Carolyn, and I've never heard her say that she doesn't have time. 15 kids. My friend Deanna Falchuk, 7 children, 5 adopted, 2 biological, just bought her dream house in Disney, Florida, in Orlando, Florida, where she literally can see the fireworks from her bedroom window. These guys were eating out of garbage cans. She didn't have the time. She made the time. She made the time. Because like I told you in the beginning, right? We want to change, or we're going to make the decision to change. And when she adopted these kids from other countries to bring them here and give them a better life, and now they're eating expired cans from a food pantry, it hit her like a ton of bricks. She said, what the hell did I bring these kids for? I set out to give them a better life. And at that pivotal moment, she made the decision to change. There is no BV in watching TV. What are you willing to give up to make a difference in your life? How many Post-it notes do you have around your house with your goals? Right in front of you each and every day. I mean, you guys are going to laugh, but I literally had these 7-figure things all over my house, everywhere I look. I'm training myself. I'm believing that I am a 7-figure earner. Every day I work on my mindset. And then the stinking thinking creeps up and I got to smash it back down. Read a book, pour into myself. You've got to stay plugged into the calls and the events. You need it. Outside can be very negative. People will not understand what you do. Remember, they're coming from a place of fear or love. So I've got to stay plugged into the culture. I've got to listen to calls from people like Susan Sly, Lynn Hagedorn, women who inspire me, go-getters. You know, I make my husband listen to some of the podcasts where the men are speaking. I'm like, look at this. Dave MacArthur, Mechanic to Millionaire. Can you imagine? I mean, you've got to start learning some of these stories. He used to not put on the brake when the car was on the lift. He didn't put on the extra security brakes in hopes that one day a car would fall on him. Can you imagine how bad someone's life was? And because of our company, he's now a 7-figure earner. Google Dave MacArthur, Mechanic to Millionaire. Know the stories. Feel inspired by the average Joes just like you who made the decision to change and did. They didn't sit around watching TV. They gave up a lot. But I know Dave and I know his wife and his family sure are grateful, incredibly grateful. So commit to the trainings, commit to learning the skills. Another thing is talking with certainty. You know, I'm going to ask you guys tonight, everyone who's on the call, to put up your goals. A lot of you guys are not, you know, talking with certainty. Well, maybe by celebration I'll hit executive, or maybe you're setting a date that's very far ahead. It's like you're giving yourself a little bit of too much slack, if you're asking me. You know, you've got to talk with certainty. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to have faith long before you see it. You have to believe that it's going to happen. And you have to see it as though it already did. So racing to executive, and the reason why we talk about executive, it's because it's the highest level of leadership in Isagenix. It's where you make the most money. You get a 10% match. You get to participate in these pools. It's where everyone should want to be. And racing to executive, I mean, it's only 10 people. Do you guys know 10 people? Anybody know 10 people? Yeah, raise your hands. You all know 10 people. If you don't, you're full of shit. We all know 10 people who know 2 people who eat. It's not that serious. I know 10 people who know 2 people that eat. Let that be your mantra each and every day. I know 10 people who know 2 people who eat. And put it on your calendar and go for it and pick a date. And let that date be closer than further. You know, when you focus on something, Tony Robbins says, when you focus on it, you're going to find it. What you focus on, you find. So Tony Robbins gave us an awesome exercise. And the exercise was this. Okay, I want everyone to look on the Zoom call and find someone wearing red. Do you see anyone who's wearing red? Count all the little boxes of everyone who's wearing red. Do you guys spot your reds? Okay, great. Now who's wearing blue? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We weren't looking for the blues. We were only focused on reds. Do you get it? What you're going to focus on, you're going to find. You've got to set executive as your target, right? Also, Tony Robbins talked about enthusiasm. How much enthusiasm are you talking to people with, right? So picture I'm sharing my opportunity with Victoria, and I'm like, you know, and I'm not excited, and I have this monotone voice, and I'm like, hey, Vic, I started this amazing cleanse, and I know I totally lost 30 pounds, and trust me, you'll love it, and I made like $1 million with this program. I mean, you should totally do it. Do you think anyone is going to get excited? Do you think anyone is going to want to do what I'm doing? Yeah, I can literally list off every single product. They've got these digestive enzymes that, you know, are proven to lose fat. None of that stuff even matters. It's your energy. It's your tone of voice. Oh my God, Vic, I just made $100. I lost 7 pounds in 1 week. I'm so excited. Do you know anyone that would want to do this with me? I'm telling you, my energy is through the roof. It doesn't even matter what you say, honestly. It's with the excitement and the passion that you're coming to people with. So if you're sitting there learning and waiting and reading, and you're not going to share with people until you get just a little better, you're losing volatile time. You're really holding off on your dreams. You don't have to be experienced to share passion. Passion is contagious. People sense it like that. I enrolled 150 people my first year, and I had no idea what the hell whey protein was. Honestly, I had no idea about toxins, cleansing. I was just excited. And that's all you have to be to really make this grow. So what you focus on, you will find. And I want to share with you guys this. Consultants are going to fall out. People are going to return. People are going to disappear. You've got to go about this like urgently. And so I want to ask 2 special ladies to share their experience. One is an OG, and she's been with us for 4 years. She was one of my first enrollments. She came on right away with her best friend, And Victoria was actually a caseworker for Child Protective Services where I worked. And her mom was also my daughter's kindergarten teacher. We never met, but our paths always seem to have crossed. So I want to ask you, Vicki, how long did it take you to get to executive?
I want to say about a year and a half.
Okay. And how many did you enroll before you got to executive?
Probably about 50 or 60.
Okay. And do you think that all 50 and 60 had
No.
it? Okay. So talk to me about when you made that decision, because you didn't push for a year and a half. You probably only pushed for 60 days. And
Yeah, I would say like around that. Yeah, roughly around maybe a little bit more. I think I started taking it seriously that February, and taking it seriously, but it means posting every day and getting on calls and going to your little meetings, remember, in the building.
yeah.
And I hit executive that June. So, and in that amount of time, but definitely that month before I started pushing and ran with it. So, definitely not right off the bat. I'm not one of those people who came in crazy, enrolling like crazy. I was like, I'll share, and then I just fell in love and saw the opportunity. And I remember I kept thinking to myself, kind of on the lines what Angela always says, why not? Why not me? I could totally do this.
And you have done it. You hit 4-star Golden Circle, which is incredible. It means that you've cycled 60 times in 1 week. For those of you guys that don't know what 60 cycles in 1 week looks like, 60 cycles in 1 week is over a $3,000 week. What was your highest week? Do you remember, or your highest month?
Mm-hmm. My highest week, I think, was about that week and 1 week last year, about 8-9 grand. When I hit the rank of executive, and then when I hit 4-star, they gave the bonuses. About 8-9 grand, I'd say.
$9,000 in 1 week. How much did we used to make investigating child abuse in the projects?
$840 after taxes.
Yeah. I want you guys to think about that. And what I will also say is that Vicki has been a master of weaving this into the pockets of her life. She's a PTA mom. She's involved in her community. She's a dance mom. She has 2 girls who are very active in dance and gymnastics. I mean, these kids are involved in everything. There's a birthday party or a communion every weekend. I think that's an Italian thing. They all go to communions. But you haven't made Isagenix your whole life, but you made it a part of your life. Kind of like, just tell me how you woven that in and how you kind of see this for yourself and the vision that you cast for your team.
I've definitely, since I've hit executive, and maybe since around the time I hit 2-star, which was 2 months after hitting executive and going to my first celebration, I've definitely made Isagenix a priority in my life. And it's really like anything, you're going to get what you put into it. So the month of June, a lot of us on here, I know we hit, the One Sweet promo. And I know I busted my butt to get those 11 enrollments. When you're putting the time in, and I don't think I worked all day the whole month of June at all, but I put in a solid 2 to 3 hours every day because I really wanted to get those 10 enrollments in. So
she's calling 2 hours of work every day a solid work day. I mean, think about it. So many of us are working so hard for someone else, but here with Isagenix, you have your own business and you're not giving it your effort. I mean, if I ask you in all honesty, how many of you are giving it 100%? Raise your hand. 100% all out every single day effort. How many of you feel that you're giving it like 80%? How many of you are giving it like 60%? 50? Below 50? Yeah, like maybe 40. All right. You know, it's for you. It's for you. You know, that's like saying, it's like telling your kids, you know what, honey, I know you have a math test coming up, and it would be fine with me if you gave it a 40% effort. Or when you go to karate and you take that belt test, just give a few little kicks, just go in there and get your belt. Don't worry about giving it your max effort. I mean, the things that we're doing, would we tell our kids to do what we're doing?
No.
No.
And what I want to point out, Ange, also, it's when I say a solid 2 hours, I'm not talking about listening to podcasts and posting in group and posting, or liking people's statuses. I'm talking about income producing activities in those solid 2 hours. Definitely not scrolling Facebook, Instagram, whatever other social medias I'm on. That's not work. Solid getting on calls, things like that is income producing. If you do that consistently, and that's definitely the steps to take it to that next level, especially to hit executive.
Absolutely. So income producing activity, booking appointments, speaking to people, sharing your story with prospects, getting on three-way phone calls, helping your team do those calls, follow-ups, really important, creating new leads, making new connections, reaching out to people, talking to people. For me, it's if I'm not sharing the story, then I'm not getting paid. And I'm not going to help somebody if I'm not sharing the story. You're of no use keeping it to yourself. Lynn Hagedorn always says, don't be stingy. So thank you for sharing that, because I really do feel that, look, this is someone who's 4 years in. She focused on it. She made the decision. And in the month of June, even 4+ years in, Sophia, Ed, Vicky, 4+ years in. Vanessa, 17 people in 2 months, and 3+ years in. And these are never people who have said, I don't have anyone to talk to. You know what? If you don't have anyone to talk to, it's because you haven't gone out there and made an effort to meet people. There are people everywhere, everywhere. I mean, listen, George Ruiz, an Isagenix millionaire, he's a pretty incredible guy. He came here from I don't want to say the wrong country. I want to say like Mexico or Colombia. He had a roll of dimes and stood with the white pages, and that's how they used to do network marketing in the past. Literally a roll of dimes into the payphone, cold calling people. That was network marketing. I mean, what we have today makes it so freaking easy. You put a sexy picture of yourself, you show it before and after, and people are like, what are you doing? In a way, I feel that it's made us a little bit lazy, because a lot of times we sit back and we wait for people to come to us. This is not about, I think, would Gandhi sit back and wait for people to come to him? Would, Martin Luther King sit back and wait for people to come to him? You want to inspire people. You want to influence people. You want to change the world. You want to receive recognition. You want to make unlimited income. You've got to go out there and you've got to do it. I've never met a millionaire that just sat back and waited for success to come to them. Every millionaire that I know has gone through so much shit to get to where they are. But if you ask them time and time again, would they change anything about it? They wouldn't. They wouldn't change a single thing, because it made them so much stronger, so much more of an influencer, because now they've got the scars and the bruises, and they can tell their team, about the pitfalls and all these things. Everything you're going through, it's God's plan. It's lessons to make you stronger. God doesn't give you more than what you can handle. I really do believe that. Everything that I've gone through in my life that I used to wake up so resentful for, why me? It made me who I am today. And now I get to pour greatness into other people and help rise people up. And had I not gone through the difficulties that I've gone through, how on earth would I be able to help anybody else? You really have to put things into perspective. So I want to ask, Robin. Robin is one of our newer executives. So I wanted to get an older person's perspective for you, and I want to get a newer person's perspective for you. So Robin, you came on for the products. You don't have a coach. You watched Ellen and I do something called a Testimony Thursday, where we shared a young woman's story. She happened to have been a friend of your daughter's. And you reached out and you said, you know what, I want this. I want this. I'm ready. You were inspired by the call and you made a decision to get started. When you came on, did you know anything about the business?
Not at all. And I wasn't interested.
Okay. So where did it change for you? Because in this call, I really want to marry the product with the business opportunity. I really feel that a lot of us are being selfish by not sharing with people right off the bat what's possible. So when did that shift happen for you?
Well, honestly, I was invited to go to the NYKO in Phoenix in January. I started in November. I did enroll 2 people because I said, you know, I might as well get my products paid for my next month because I knew I was going to be doing it. But I didn't want to build a business. So I did enroll a couple of people in the first month or 2. And then I went to NYKO. I went to the event and it lit me up. And seeing everybody and hearing where they came from and where they are now and just how much their lives had changed, I wanted it. I knew I could do it. And when I left there, I decided I was going to do it. And the company came out with a couple promotions. January Jolt, they had, I think we had to enroll 10 people, or I can't even remember what it was, but I was determined I was going to do it. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to put my nose to the, nose down, and I'm going to do it. So I started, listening to all the calls and doing what you guys said to do. Posted and I did everything I was supposed to do, and I hit it. So I got that big bonus in January, and then February Frenzy came out, did the same thing. So every time they've thrown out a promotion, I've run for it. So I've built, you were talking about friends on Facebook and stuff like that and people not knowing anybody. I really, starting out, I think I had 300 friends on Facebook, and I said, I'm not going to be able to do this. So posting and doing that, going public, I was private and I, didn't accept friend requests or anything. So I totally changed that. And now I just actually got a thing on Facebook. I've reached 1,000 friends on Facebook. I do public postings, and I have people reaching out to me that they don't know me. You came across my news feed, and so there are people out there. You don't have to know them to reach them. So you just have to know how to reach them. And yeah, I started running with it. So here I am.
You are about 6-7 months in. How many people did you have to enroll to get to executive?
Maybe 50 people, 60. I mean, I have 200 people in my downline, but that's, I have my team. I actually took a solid month off from enrolling. I don't think I enrolled anybody in May. And I reached out and helped my team start to build their team and help them enroll. So I spent the entire month on 3-way calls and enrolling people and helping them. Yeah.
Because you made the decision. What you focus on, you will find. And I remember you were feeling quite frustrated in April saying, I'm doing it, but none of them are doing it. And I don't understand what I have to do to help them do it.
Yeah.
And you did perfectly. You did just that. You really started pouring into your team. And it is about figuring out a balance. It's about figuring out life balance, how your husband's not going to feel neglected because you're always on the phone. It's about figuring out kid balance when I have to say, oh, just take the fucking lollipop, just let me do my call. It is about life's balance. It's not easy. It's not easy. And it's about balancing your recruiting, because obviously, new recruits are the life of your business, but it's also about working with your team and helping them flourish. And you have to have the mindset that it's more important to see your people making a paycheck than it is your own. Because when you do that, your paycheck automatically will grow. It really is about rising and lifting other people. And so finding that balance was awesome. So what kind of effort was it on your part to hit executive? Because I remember Vicki and I hysterical laughing. She's like, Ange, she's like, I've literally been feeding my kids like ramen noodles for 2 days, or cut like the Campbell's like cup of soup. She's like, I feel like the worst mother. She's like, but I'm determined to make this happen. I think people think that, hitting executive is like, oh, la-di-da, number 10 just hit. Hitting executive looks like this. Okay, picture armpits not shaven. Your hair is like this. You're like, I haven't showered in 6 days. It's great. It is like an all-out, insane effort. You're like, Grandma, please, I just need your social security. Don't ask me why. Just do it. Getting to executive is crazy. It's about pulling in favors. It's about asking people. It's about saying, you don't want to pack, fine, just order with 100 BV. It really is about maximum effort. So what was your level of effort? Because I know Victoria's, and it was like, whoa, mama, she is hitting it, come hell or high water.
Yeah, same here. We actually had I was a manager when they came out with the Rapid Crystal Reset. So I was a manager. I didn't hit the crystal manager, but I was a manager. So I was determined I was going to go for it. So I hit director before the deadline at 11:30 at night on that Sunday. And then I put it in my mind that I was going to go from director to executive by next Sunday. I was giving myself 1 week to get 4 more consultants because I was on a roll. So I didn't. I put my nose down and I did it. And I did pull in favors. I have one lady who, she's amazing. She's lost 65 pounds. She loves the program, and she's consistently buying so much product every month. She loves it. So I asked her a favor, and I said, is there any way we can enroll your husband and enroll your daughter and split out your 400 EV order between the 3 of you so that you become a consultant? You can get, she cycled, I don't know how many times. And I said, you'll get money back. And then, you'll continue to, even if you make $54 a week in 4 weeks, you get your 100 BV order for free every month. So she said, absolutely. Because I told her, I said, I'm really trying to hit this rank advancement. So she did it. Lena, I had a couple of girlfriends that did it for me. And so I got those 4 in that 1 week. But I mean, it was a lot of work. I did ignore my husband, and I don't think I took a shower for a couple of days. I mean, it was balls to the wall. I mean, I did it on top of running a business. So, it was hard, but it's doable.
It's totally doable, and
Totally.
You feel so victorious, and you set such a beautiful example for the rest of your team. I mean, if Vicki didn't do that, would she have, executives under her belt? No. If you didn't do that, would you have so many people rank advancing? You've got to go first to show your people what's possible. They don't resonate with me. They don't resonate with Ed. You are the influencer of your tribe. You're attracting people just like you, and so it's really up to you guys to step into your power, to step into your greatness, and start attracting the people around you who deserve better. You've got to go first for your community, for your neighbors, for your family. So setting up goals, get a Post-it note, hold yourself accountable. I'm going to throw up a post in the leaders group where I'm going to ask you guys to post up your goals. It's important because number 1, it shows your leader that you're serious and they're going to reach out to help you. But number 2, it shows your team that you're serious and they're going to start believing in you more. But these Post-it notes are crucial. Also, filling out a roadmap to Crystal Executive. I mean, if you don't have a roadmap, to Crystal Executive, again, what you focus on, you find. I can show you this time and time again. It's when these ladies made the decision, it's when they focused their effort on hitting this goal, they made it happen. So you have to fill out that roadmap to Crystal Executive. So that's going to be your second assignment. And really talking to yourself only in positive form. It's really critical that you do this. Your words and your thought process are going to matter. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. You've got to tell yourself, I'm going to hit this goal. I'm going to take massive action. I don't care what I've done in the past. I care what I've done. I heard something great. If you're living in the past, I have to pull this quote up. It was so great. If you're living in the past, you're like floating in depression. If you're living in the future, you're smothered in anxiety. If you're living in the present and you're living for your now, that's really where you find your energy and your joy and your power. So, everyone that has been successful, it really was a matter of their belief. It was just their belief. They believed so hard that they were going to hit it, that there was no other option. So changing your posture, and know that you are an influencer. Know that you can impact people. Know that you can make a difference. Come to people with excitement. You're going to attract your own tribe. Your people won't be my people. But until you get excited, you're not going to have people join you. You have to wake up. You have to read these affirmations. You've got to read the cheesy books. You've got to change your energy. You've got to change your frequency, your positivity. The confidence will come. The skill set will come. But you've got to get out there and really just start talking with people. Don't be afraid. I'm more afraid of sitting back and doing nothing and letting this opportunity slip me by. This is huge. We're a part of something massive, an incredible global company that's going to be the biggest health and wellness company in the world. And you're right here. You have a front seat on this rocket ship. And some of you guys are giving it a 60% effort. You've got to let go of those old beliefs that are holding you back, that allow you to feel that you're not worthy, you don't deserve it. You're okay with just $300. Why not push yourself? Why not triple that number? Choose something you feel. Eric Worre had us do an exercise, and he had us think of a number. What do you want to earn every year? Close your eyes and think of a number that you want to be earning every year. Like that number that feels really good. And then he said, good, now double that number. And so many people cringed. They were like, because it was so uncomfortable. It was so out of their element. It was frightening. But that's what it's going to take. It has to be uncomfortable. It has to be scary if you're going to step forward. Robin is hysterical. People were calling in favors, saying you don't have to get the patch, just 100 BV. People, were enlisting friends and family to help them, but, just commit. Go through your back office. Really comb through it. See the people that are holding volume. Start sharing the money story with them. We're all about the products, but you know what, guys? After 15 years, I don't think we need to prove our product credibility. People know the products work. We have a money-back guarantee. We don't have to prove that the products work anymore. What we have to start doing is getting comfortable with the opportunity. Because I tell you honestly, helping somebody make $300 a week is equally as valuable as helping someone lose 30 pounds. Can you all agree with that? We've got to get comfortable on sharing that money story. So I'm going to post up a few assignments. I will ask you guys to commit to your goals. So this today, really, Start becoming aware of your negative talk, of your negative feelings. Start putting it into play and replacing it with positive things. Remember that people are coming from a place of fear or love. It's nothing personal. It's nothing against you. Let go of that. You choose to come from a place of love. Choose a mentor, choose a friend, choose a running mate. It's going to be very, very important for your success to have somebody that you respect and admire, who's not going to be afraid to kick your ass sometimes, to hold you where you need to be held, to put up a mirror and say, look, you're full of it. Everything you told me you were going to do this week, you didn't do none of it. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and say, I would really love for you to help me. Hold me accountable. This is what I need from you. Don't expect them to know. Let them know what you need from them. And set your goals. Set big goals. Don't be afraid. There's no caps here. There's no, men make this amount, women make this amount. Everybody's equal here. And you can make as much as you want, as much as you feel you're worth, as many people as you help, that's how much you can earn. So don't be afraid to set some big, big, big ass goals. I want to hear people are pushing to executive by celebration. I want to hear people are going to be at top achievers. Boom, 3-star. Got a few months to hit that. There's no reason why you can't all be on that beach in a bikini. I want to hear some huge goals. And fill out that roadmap to Crystal Executive, and please complete the 6 calls. I promise you, you will walk away with something. I promise you, you will come out better, stronger. One word today changed my entire tennis game. One thing the guy said changed my entire game. And that's what these calls are going to do for you. It may not be for me. Maybe one of these ladies inspired you today. Maybe some of the stories that you will hear. Maybe one word will click for you and think, shit, why the hell not me? Right? So I want to thank you guys for being on. Really commend you. It's a lot to take an hour out of your evening. I know kids, heat, summertime, exhaustion. Oh my God, there was a whole chat here that I totally didn't even see. Oh, it's mostly Ed yelling at me. Okay, share the money talk. 6 months, 4,000 to 5,000 a month. Absolutely. Start dreaming big. It's absolutely possible. Okay, guys. So we'll end tonight's call. Does anyone have any questions?